So this is an on delay timer. So what you can see right now is it has an option of two inputs for 24 volts and 240 volts. For 24 volts, we can put the input wires on 9 and 10 terminals, and for the 220 volts, we can put it on 2 and 7 terminals. So it depends on the application. So we can use 9 and 10 or 2 and 7. To understand these symbols further, then we will use the multimeter for better explanation. So I'm using this Fluke multimeter, and we will use, of course, the resistance in checking the continuity of the normally open and normally closed. And on the timer internal wiring diagram, it says that terminals 5 and 8 are the normally closed contacts, which means that when the timer is off, then 5 and 8 are normally closed, and 8 and 6 are normally open. And once the timer is activated, then it will start counting on whatever settings you put on the timer, and the closed contact will then shift it to terminals 8 and 6. And on the other hand, the terminals 1 and 4 are in closed contacts, which means that these terminals will always be at close contact, and once the timer is activated without counting, the close contact will shift to terminals 1 and 3. And so to understand it further, we will do an actual wirings on this timer so that you will see the activations of each terminals of the light bulb on terminals 8 and 6. Once the timer is switched on, it will start counting on whatever the time settings we put onto the timer, and it will light up once that counting is finished. Before we activate it, let's explain first the multiple and range settings. So in every timers, you will always have the settings for whatever it is on seconds or in minutes or in hours. So that's why I chose this one, so that it is not just the normal or the usual simple Autotronics timer where you can turn the knob and change the settings. So as you can see, these three dip switches, the first two are for range, and the third one is for multiple. So what does it mean? At this position, then you have a 0.1 second range. At this position, you will have 1 second, and then just follow the range position of this dip switches, whether you will use 0.1 second, 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour. And then this is the multiple, whether in this position it is by 2, multiple by 2, or by 1. So it means at this position, the first 2 is set at seconds, then you have a multiple of 2, and then you are set at 5. So it means at the second, multiply by 2, then this one is set to 10 seconds. The multiple on this position, and then you will have 5 seconds multiplied by 1, which is 5, and by 1, which is 5, at settings of minutes. So the on delay will be activated after 5 minutes. Let's activate the light bulb. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,